That A game again.
Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello, 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 hello. How y'all doing? Hopefully everybody's good at the start of this week. Oh, you play the drums, Kendra? That's cool. I always wanted to play the drums. I suck at instruments. This is the only instrument I have. My voice, that's the instrument I know how to use, but I always wanted to play the drums or some type of percussion, either drums or like bongos or something. I always wanted to play some type of percussion, but I don't play. I did start learning how to play the piano, and I had a certain affinity for it because I started understanding how to read music. So I liked the piano. I did like the piano. I'm not saying I would have been some type of grand piano player, but I did like the piano. Thank you, Nora, for kicking it off for me. Thank you so much. I never had much luck with the guitar. Like my grandfather knew how to play the guitar and stuff like that, but I never had too much luck with just instruments in general. I always wanted to be one of those multi-talented, you know what I'm saying? I could play this instrument and that instrument. They could sing. Because I could sing and I could dance. Believe it or not, I could dance. Especially back in the day. Back in high school, I was killing them on the dance floor. Maybe hard to believe because back in the day, this is why in the 90s we went fat. Because if you go back to them videos and you go back and listen to them songs in the 90s and stuff like that, from the hip hop to the house to the club songs and all that kind of stuff, all that upbeat music, we was doing stuff like the Running Man and all that kind of stuff. That's why we went fat. Plus our little hood kids was hungry because our parents was on crack. So we ain't had no food no way, and then we was burning all them calories. That's why we could eat a bunch of Little Debbies and not gain no weight, because we was burning all the calories off. That's so sad. That is so sad. We walked everywhere. Yes, Abby, we walked everywhere. Thank you so much, Big Feminine, for the compliment. Thank you. I try to put the colors together. But yeah, we walked everywhere. I know I walked miles. I don't even know how many miles I had to walk all them years. Just walking everywhere. Gotta go over here, walk. If you ain't got no bus there, walk. You might have a bike. You might have had a bike. Hey, Miss Tamika. I have not forgotten about you. My fans is here. Y'all, I have been kind of slacking on the fans. You know, I just been cooking so much. The fans are, on standby. Fans is on standby. Thank you, Kendra, and my donation to the Crimson Q University, as UFO calls it. UFO do be coming up with some stuff. I be seeing what UFO be writing. He be coming up with some stuff. Like, I thoroughly enjoy watching UFOs chat, comments. Thank you, Miss Luke Hazley. How you doing, sweetheart? Girl, in Mills, yes, I would walk from, if you're from Chicago, then I'm going to give you an idea of how I used to walk, how much I used to walk. If you're from Chicago, you will understand this walk for what it is. I used to live on the west side in the Austin area. That is as far west as Cicero. Okay? I used to walk from the Austin area to Greektown. If you from Chicago, you know the distance of that walk. If you are from Chicago, you know the distance of that walk. I will walk from the west side, Austin area west side, to Greek town. Just escaping. Put on my Walkman. You know, back in the day, it was a Walkman with the little fuzzy headphones. And you knew you was the bomb when your Walkman could rewind. You see what I'm saying? When you used to go to Walgreens and get your Walkman, and it would be like you get the one that was high up, it was like $50. You see? And if your Walkman could rewind without you flipping the tape, that's how old I am. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's how old I am. I remember flipping the tape. That's how old I am. Mm-hmm. I used to go to Greek town. You go over there, get you a gyro. If you had enough money, you go over there to Jewtown. Now, for those of you in Chicago, you know what Jewtown's over there in Maxwell. That was Halsted. That was like Halsted and Roosevelt. And on back, headed south on Halsted. That was that little area. It's the university area. And there's University Village now, but it was Jewtown back in the day. That was Jewtown. You go get you some Jewtown burgers. I had stopped eating pork and stuff like that, but I go get them Jewtown burgers and with them fries with the skin still on them. You see how they had the fries with the skin still on them, and then they would give you that burger with the cheese melted on there, and then with a little hot pepper on the side, a little hot pepper and then a can of pop. And you could not eat that pepper with that can of pop, or else you was gonna burn your throat out. And if you had enough money, I walk back over and take the blue line back home. You either had to wind it back up with a screwdriver or a pencil. Mm-hmm. Thank you again, Norrin. So those of you from Chicago, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we gonna cook these dudes today. We gonna cook these simps today. We're going to cook these simps today. Because, see, just like there are three main categories of woman. You got the straight up hyena, right? This is the straight up gynocratic, feminist minded, masculine. She uncooperative. She, you know what I'm saying? She the one talking about she don't need no man. All this other stuff. Blah, 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 blah. The straight up hyena. Then you got the chameleon. She a hyena. She's a hyena in her heart. Okay? This is the hyena in her heart. She gonna act like she not a hyena. She gonna act like she's a lioness. But you gotta peel back the layer of her to realize that she's a hyena at heart. And then you got the lioness. Okay, you got the lioness. This is not a hyena at all. This is a real woman. This is a good woman. This is a woman with the makings of being a wife. All right. Now, for the men, you have three counter categories. You have three categories similar. You got the straight up maggle. This is a male gynocrat. This is the male hyena. Okay, the straight maggle. He just ain't no good for nobody. You see what I'm saying? This is the dude that everybody be talking about ain't no good. All right, this is that guy. All right, But then you have, like a chameleon, you have the scar. He looked like a lion, but he has the heart of a hyena. He has the heart of a maggle. Okay? And then there's the lion. There's the lion. He's the one that's got leadership qualities. He's the one that's going to give you his 4 P's properly. That one. So we're going to break down these 3 categories of men. 3 categories of men that women can choose from, and 2 of them got to be avoided. Let's talk about the male hyena. Let's talk about that dude. Ladies, this message today is for the good women. We don't need these kinds of guys. Actually, we got to stay away from these types of dudes. Okay? We got to stay away from these types of dudes. We got to stay away from the beta male, maggle, simp, hyena dude, because he also makes this sound. He make that sound too. See, it's not just the female hyenas that make that noise. See, if you listen to a hyena, you can't tell which one female or not, because all of them is making that noise. Okay? So a lioness instinct is to bite when she hear that noise. And it don't matter. See, no lioness is asking whether or not the hyena is male or female. We just bite. When they come by with the back feet, we just like, it's just an instinct. We gotta bite them. We gotta bite them. Like, you gotta bite them. It's in our lioness blood. Okay? Right? So these beta male, let me tell you about a beta male simp hyena. He don't know how to act. The first thing that we got to understand as women, he don't know how to act in a leadership position. Because guess what? In a hyena clan, there is never any such thing as a male in charge of a female. Ever. There is not one male hyena in any hyena clan that can topple the matriarch. Not one. Not one. Thank you once again, Norrin. Okay? Not one hyena male is capable of leading any one of his females. He is not capable of it, and it is not acceptable. So he never gets what? Leadership qualities. He never gains leadership qualities. See, men have inherently 4 P's to give because this is a part of male nature. However, the difference between a lion giving you 4 P's and a male hyena is that the lion actually know how to give you 4 P's and the hyena male squawks about it and he gives you 4 P's partially with a whole bunch of chaos like a chick. Thank you, Phillips. I'm glad you cooking this. Simps are the worst and they feed hyenas illusion. Yes. See, the simp is the other side of the hyena coin. See, she can't be a hyena the way she is without the strength of a simp. Because for as weak as the male hyena is in the clan, he is necessary to uphold the clan. Here's the mentality of the male simp, the male hyena in a clan. First of all, he never gains any leadership qualities because he's never in charge of anything, okay? He is a weak male. He's weak-minded. He's weak in his resolve. He don't stand on his square ever. Case in point. The guy, remember the clip that I showed y'all with Amanda Seals and she was in that interview and that guy kind of backed up off of her? That's a beta male simp. Because see, a male hyena know he better not stand his ground in front of a female hyena. He know his place. Now, he is content to be in the clan because he don't got what it takes to stand on his own, but he doesn't like the way he's treated in a hyena clan. We're going to get into this because we have to know this. The male hyena is content to be in the clan because he doesn't have what it takes to make it on his own. But he also doesn't like how he's treated in the hyena clan because the females run roughshod over him all the time. Even the low-ranking females rank higher than him. So due to this dismay of how he's being treated in the hyena clan, the hyena male looks over at the lion pride and he sees how the lioness reveres and respects the lion. And he thinks to himself, I should get one of those lionesses because they are female and they know how to treat and talk to a male. I'm a male. So I need to go over to a lioness to try to get her to be nice to me because female hyenas are not nice to me. Thank you so much once again, Norman. Thank you so much. So he tramples his back feet over to a lone lioness. And he attempts to be with this lioness. Now here is where you know how you getting into it with a male hyena. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Philip. You and Norman are sponsoring this show. Thank you so much. I'm sponsoring a portion of this. Mama giving me that look, so I gotta go eat, cook. Okay. Now, this is, ladies, this is how you know you getting in with a hyena. A hyena male. A hyena male is a male that overexerts what he thinks is control in the relationship. Do we understand what that means? The hyena male, you know you're getting into it with a hyena when he attempts to exert this overarching, this real crazy kind of control in the relationship. And this control doesn't come with any understanding. What am I talking about? The type of control that he attempts to exert in the relationship is both petty, it is without justice, And it is without understanding of anything about female nature or male leadership. He just trying to control stuff. Do we understand what that means? I know the ladies understand it. I'll give you an example. A beta male hyena doesn't want his woman to do anything in the relationship. He doesn't want her to know anything. He doesn't want her to say anything. He says things like, I was listening to Fight Club. If you know, you know. And this is the other week, something like that. I don't even remember when. But I kind of moseyed on in. Sometimes I mosey in, cloud watch a little bit. And some guy, I don't even know who it was talking. I walked in, he was mid-sentence. And he was saying something like this. Yeah, I don't take no orders from no woman. If I'm taking care of a woman, then she's a child to me. So she can't ask me anything. And she can't say anything to me about anything. Because she's a child in a relationship. And I said, and I thought to myself, there's a beta right there. There's a beta. Thank you, Miss Selma. Said thank you for making it make sense. It's making sense for y'all. Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome, baby. I'm trying to put it together for the ladies, okay? And I'm thinking, this is a beta. Because betas are insecure with leadership positions because he doesn't understand leadership positions. See, a guy that think like that if I give a woman my 4 Ps, that makes her a child in this relationship, that is a man that is not accustomed to any leadership. He doesn't lead anybody because he doesn't understand how you're supposed to influence people and manage things. That's what you're supposed to do. He doesn't understand that though. He thinks that a woman that he's giving his 4 Ps to makes her a child, not a woman. Thank you again, Norrin, for sponsoring the show, co-sponsoring. Thank you. He's very insecure about any type of leadership, and his leadership is easily toppled and it is easily threatened by a woman that understands her womanhood. That is what it is toppled by. Not even another hyena female, because he know how to get underneath her. He gets underneath her. But when he attempts to come over to the lioness, okay? Lionesses are used to structure, but they are also used to righteous leadership. We're going to get further into it. Thank you, Fit Feminine 40. So I've learned a lot about hyenas and their behavior in comparison to alpha, beta, men, and women just by watching your show. Appreciate you breaking it all down. No problem. I am glad y'all are getting something out of this. Listen, because unfortunately, I have seen a lot of these kinds of men. You be like, what's wrong with you? Why you don't want your woman to do nothing, say nothing, go nowhere, talk to nobody? These are the men that don't want he don't want his woman to have no friends. These are the men that don't want his woman to go nowhere with nobody, to do nothing. She just supposed to stay at home under him, and he ain't got nothing for her to do. This is the guy that picks arguments with you. Now, when he come upon a lioness, he's going to think the lioness is masculine, because he's gonna be trying to figure out, why did she act that way with the lion, But when she get over here with me, she be all dominant with me. First of all, because lionesses and hyenas, whether they male or female, are mortal enemies. That they mortal enemies, and we gonna bite you. This is from the mouth of a lioness. I need every beta male, hyena, maggle, gynocentric man, feminist man to hear this. Any soft-wristed man, I need y'all to hear this. A lioness is your mortal enemy. You need to stay away from us. Because the treatment that we give lions, we will never give to you. Ever. Because you don't have the structure of lions. You are chaotic like your female counterpart. And we do not like that. Thank you, Chris. Bite that beta. Yeah, we're going to bite him. You do not have system, order, and structure. You are chaotic. You are argumentative. You are insecure, and many times you are a broken male. Now, a lot of times your mama made you that way, but okay, I don't give the female hyenas the leeway. I'm not going to give you none either. A lioness, if you come over here, I know that we're attractive. I know that our femininity is attractive. I know that you are looking across the plain into the pride land and you seeing us nuzzle up under the lion. You seeing us bring him fresh gazelles. You seeing us raise his cubs without no problem. You seeing us, cuddling up with him and running after him and catering to him and loving him. You see that? I know you want that. Your hyena will never give it to you. But guess what? We'll never give it to you either. Because we don't like you. Majid, yes. A beta male hyena will call a feminine woman a pick-me with the same derision that his hyena master will call a feminine woman a pick-me. That is exactly right. Many ways you can tell, but let's get back to the relationship dynamics. See, he doesn't have any leadership because he don't know how to lead. He understands that a woman is to be underneath him, but he doesn't know how she's supposed to be underneath him. I am past this commercial break. So, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, we're downloading A-Game's formula.
3, 2, 1.
Iron Man got competition from Juan in the first commercial with Happy Dance. He got competition. Did y'all like that first commercial? I really, really, really love that first commercial. It was so cute. It was so cute. And she was at the end like, you better clap yourself back to work. in there dancing around like you lost your mind. So here's the thing. Lionesses don't like you either, because we like to bite hyenas. This is just in us. You're a hyena. You have back feet. See, a beta male hyena is the type of dude that would run through a lioness. A beta male hyena type dude is the type of dude that don't mind taking a lioness's virginity and treating her like a 304 when she's not one. He'll take her femininity for granted. He'll think that she's soft. He'll think that she's stupid. And then he'll proceed to run roughshod through her life like this. Okay? That is how he running through her life. He is the type that will try to transform a lioness into a hyena and then call her a hyena. These are some of the most dangerous men to a lioness, because he looks to break her. He looks to ruin her. He does not look to honor her femininity that she's given to him. He looks to destroy it. Hyena males depend on females for their survival. These is where you get the homosexual from. This is where you get the guy that wants your money, that wants you to give him all kind of money for him to survive. And then, like the beta male he is, he try to dress it up like you don't want to invest, your money in the relationship. Man, see, all you chicks is the same. You will give me up your body, but you won't give me your money. No, you are a F-19. You are a beta male hyena simp. And I am not giving you any money, because that is what you do. You depend on every other hyena female to feed you, because that is what goes on in a hyena clan. No, lionesses hunt for the sake of the pride, not because the alpha male does not know how to hunt, but because he is busy patrolling. He is busy protecting. He is busy making sure everybody's safe. So his energy is well spent in those areas. Thank you once again, Norin. Lioness's energy is well spent raising cubs and going to hunt, which will be the equivalent of cooking food and bringing it back to the pride so that everybody can eat. That is contribution to the relationship. Me just giving you money so you can stunt for your hyena girl that you got out there is not a contribution to the relationship. That's just taking care of you like the simp hyena that you are. And I'm gonna bite you for it. The simp hyena male is the one that is looking for his mama in every woman. Because again, he doesn't have any leadership skills. He doesn't understand what to do in life. He's comfortable being dominated and ruled over by a hyena. However, when he gets around a lioness, he'll call himself, think she masculine, because she'll be trying to apply system, order, and structure to him because he doesn't have any. That will be perceived by him as a masculine female. And the reason why a lioness will take that position is because we actually appreciate and can't operate without a structure. So we be trying to figure out the structure our daddy had or something like that. and give it to you because you don't know nothing about it. We know we don't operate without structure. So listen, my daddy had a whole system. Let me tell you about my daddy's system. My daddy used to do this. My daddy used to do it like this. My daddy used to say this kind of stuff. My daddy used to do this kind of stuff. The reason why we telling you what our daddy's doing is because we see you not operating like a man. You're not a lion. And then a hyena male get mad at a lioness for that. You telling you ain't supposed to be telling me. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna bite you. I'm gonna bite you. Now, that is the hyena male. Let's move on to number 2 category. Thank you, Dr. Michelle. That's the other thing. She said they also don't know what to do with her submission. He tramples upon it and discounts it. It's like casting pearls before swine. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You think she's stupid. Oh, she's submissive, man. She do that thing. I say, man, she's stupid. Okay, yeah, right. Now, the second category is Scar. He's the equivalent to a female chameleon. Let's talk about Scar. He need to be avoided at all costs, but he's a little bit more difficult to spot. Who was Scar? Let's think back to Lion King. Scar was technically by DNA a lion. But he had the heart of a hyena. To such an extent that Scar was not really part of Mufasa's pride. He was the outcast male. Scar was a beta male that couldn't tolerate being a beta male. This is important. Scar was a beta male that could not tolerate being a beta male, but that also could not topple the alpha. The only ones that a Scar can lead or get under any type of control is a hyena, and that but barely. Scars also take a lioness's submission for granted. Thank you once again, Nora. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Remember that I'm gonna prove it to you. You're using Lion King. I know it's a cartoon, but hear what I say. I'm going to draw the connections for you. Remember that scene towards the end when Scar was on top of Pride Rock, but it was barren? And Sarabi held her frame as a lioness. And she came to Scar and said, there is nothing to hunt. We're starving. In other words, she's telling him, I can't do my job as a lioness because of your bad leadership. We have to move the pride. She's doing what to Scar? She started giving him SOS. She started problem solving for him. Because these weak betas and these Scar type dudes put lionesses in these positions that we don't want to be in. Do you know what he did to her? Do you remember what he did to her when she told him, no, I can't help. We'll do it anyway. She was like, no. What did he do to her? Do we remember that? Do we remember that scene? He slapped her. Slapped her. He knocked fire from Sarabi, something Mufasa never did. And the other lionesses bared their teeth at him. They were ready to jump him for that. Because I told you a lioness will jump a weak male that tries to lead them. They will do it. And the reason why they will do that is because a weak male jeopardizes the life of a lioness. Our lives become in jeopardy with them. That's why we bite them. Scar had the heart of a hyena. These men are a little bit more difficult to spot because they outwardly look like lions. They come in and they act like they got a plan. But they rule you without righteousness or justice. Male scars, which are, like I said, the equivalent of the female chameleon. He looked like a lion. You're tempted to follow him because he looks like a lion. But when you get down into the nitty gritty, he doesn't have any good system, order, and structure. Now, what makes him different? What makes the Scar different from the classic beta male lion? Because the classic beta male lion is not a bad guy. He's actually a good guy. But the Scar isn't. What makes this kind of guy bad is the fact that he knows he's not a leader. And he too honorary and too jealous of the alpha to get SOS from the alpha and then apply it in his life. This is the guy that can't take counseling and get any wisdom from his elders or from his betters. The male Scar doesn't take counsel from anybody. He knows he doesn't lead well. So he attempts to strike fear to cover up the shortcomings of his bad leadership. And when the fruit of that bad leadership bear out to be sour and rotten, and the lioness come and say, "You lead me astray, buddy. Thank you again, Norrin. You're leading us into a ditch, and I'm not going into a ditch with you. Do you see this ditch? That is no more than 100 feet away. That's pretty close. And I'm not willing to take me and these cubs into that ditch with you." And for that insight, for her female insight, something she's supposed to give him, something that a good leader welcomes, he'll slap her for, but maybe not physically really, but you get what I mean. Like he'll punish her for that. He'll punish her for that. He won't take counsel from his betters. You can tell a male Scar when he doesn't think he has any betters. Watch out for that, ladies. You may not be in position to tell him what's what, but he needs to be able to reach out to somebody or think of somebody that he would take counsel from. And not be too honorary to take the counsel. There must be a male lion somewhere where he can go and humble himself to that other male to ask him, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Because the way I'm going, it's not giving out, the outcomes are not very good. And my wife, my lioness that I got with me, is getting real antsy about it because it's been X amount of years and I keep leading her, circling her back around to this ditch. I don't think she's going to go back around to that ditch no more. I think the next time I bend that corner again in a ditch, it's right there she going to leave. And she would be right to do so because I keep leading her to it. Now, I don't want to lead her to it. How should I proceed differently in order to demonstrate better leadership to her? If he can't do that, if he refuses to do that, this is a scar. He has the heart of a hyena. He just got the look of a lion. Male scars always think they the smartest ones in the room. He doesn't want you to point out that the problem solving is not yielding. This is your feminine insight. And there's a feminine way to come say that too. Babe, I think we might need to talk. Because we've done this about 4 or 5 times. These are the results. These are the things that's going on in the up close on the ground. You may or may not be aware of how these outcomes are affecting everything else. It's affecting how I, operate in this relationship. It's affecting the children, and it's not a good effect, babe. It's having a negative effect, my love, and we need to talk about how we can change it around. I'm giving you this information, right? And why do we give the information? Why do a lioness give that information? Because we understand something very key. Thank you, Greaseman, Texas. It's feminine for men to live off of women, but these same guys call it macking and can never take care of themselves. Sad. Exactly. There's a reason why lionesses give this information. We give information to our men. This is the insight. We give information to him because we understand that problem solving will be faulty if he don't have all the information at his disposal. If there are key things that he does not understand or does not know, if there are key things going on in the household, going on in the dynamics that he may be unaware of because he's looking at things from a different perspective than you, and you are looking at things from an up-close perspective, and you come tell him, babe, this is what's happening though. Like, this is the, this is what's going on. We understand that he'll be able to make better problem-solving decisions when he has all of the pertinent information that he needs. Now, we're going to talk about the classic beta male lion, not Scar. He's just not the alpha. And Dr. Michelle actually summed it up really well. She said when a beta is under the leadership of an alpha, he can elevate his values, his life, his family, and his community. He can replace dangerous, treacherous outcomes with an elevated life values. Exactly. The beta male lion is not a bad guy. He's a good guy that can aptly take care of a family. The only reason why there are beta male lions to begin with is because there can only be one alpha. The beta male lion is content to help with the duties of the male lion. He will patrol also, which with this beta male, the alpha can then protect a wider swath of territory than he can do on his own. When he has another male in the pride, that male can also patrol different parts of the territory. He may not be necessarily strong enough to topple that alpha, but he is a functional member of the pride, and he is a very important member of the pride. Many times, that beta male lion will watch that alpha, and if he can't best the alpha, he'll make his way out of the pride to create his own pride. He'll try his hand at creating his own pride. So he'll either run across a lone lioness or group of lionesses and try to take them over, or he finds an alpha of a pride that he can best, and then he takes that pride. He has learned how to operate as a functioning male lion from the alpha he was under. And he may or may not be able to have this super huge pride and super dominant over every other pride, but he will be able to manage at least a small pride. A couple of lionesses, he'll have him some cubs. It is what it is. This beta male lion is, like I said, is just second in command. He's not afraid, neither is he intimidated to go to a higher ranking male to get tips and get counsel on what he should do, to get mentorship on what he should be doing, what he can do better. Because he doesn't have any interest in breaking these lionesses. He's trying to build them up. Okay? So that second in command beta lion, I need to make this very clear. There is a very clear distinction between the Scar. The Scar type is an outcast. He's an outlier. No other lion likes him or wants him to be part of anything. He's not a productive member of the pride at all. He's a destructive piece that would look to destroy the pride rather than build it up. The beta male lion, who might actually exit the pride and become an alpha of his own, he's smart enough to understand I'm probably not going to top that alpha. But I can get what I need to get in as far as system, order, and structure on how to run things. And I can do it. And there is no shame in that. I don't want any man listening to me that might realize he's in that category to feel any type of shame about that, because there's no shame in that category at all. Everybody ain't gonna be the chief. Everybody ain't the alpha. Alphas are rare. Even in nature, alphas are rare. It's usually one to a pride. Because there's levels to being an alpha. Because there are men out there that'll put another alpha to shame. Another alpha be like, well, dude, well, okay, then I thought I really had my stuff together, but I see I had work to do. So you got your stuff together. Oh, okay. Shoot, I can learn a couple things from you. So just because he can't be this master of the universe type of guy doesn't mean he doesn't have any leadership skills or he can't do anything. He'll be that woman's alpha. He may not be able to be alpha for the entire group or the entire community or the entire family structure, extended everybody, but he can be the alpha in his house. You understand what I mean? He can be the alpha in his house. He can set the structure in his house. And he can get a lioness that will submit to that. Because she doesn't sense weakness. She doesn't sense, the hyena in him. So lionesses when we respect lions across the board, real lions, we respect them across the board. They don't have to be the top dog alpha for us to respect them. We're going to respect them anyway. It's the scar that we're going to bite. Because we don't even see him as a lion. We see him as a hyena. He act like a hyena. So I hope this was helpful to the ladies. Some of the men might even have gotten a little help. This was coming from a feminine woman looking at groups of men. Now, there are going to be different nuances, but I'm not here to talk about the nuances. I'm here to talk about the main categories and these men that we need to be avoiding, because this is how you get caught up as a lioness trying to give your all to a hyena male or a scar. And neither of them deserve it. These are the men we don't need. We don't need that type of stress. They stressful. Okay? And men do not come into your life. No lion comes into a lioness's life to make her life more stressful. So hopefully these distinctions helped everybody. Because I just want to help everybody out. We bite all hyenas. I need you to understand that, hyenas. Hyena males, I'm talking to the hyena males. Lionesses bite all of you. All of you. We don't know the difference no way. We not even interested in the difference. We just smell like a hyena. You wait a minute. You smell like a hyena. Why are you over here? Why are you talking to me? I'm gonna bite you. We can smell you from quite a distance. You coming in with your little swag. We see through that. We don't care nothing about that. You don't have any structure, okay? Hyenas like the dominance of alpha males and hate the structure of alpha males. Lionesses are the opposite. We can't even operate without the structure of an alpha lion. We can't. We can't. So then we get frustrated. And don't be fooled by hyena talking points before we sign out. Don't be fooled by hyena talking points. Because this is why I can't be feminine. I never once said we can't be feminine. These dudes that ain't nothing. I mean, that's why we can't get rest in our femininity. Knock it off. Who else needs to knock it off? The trolls in the chat, but also the trolls that was leading the Black Lives Matter organization. Patrice Cullors, wink, wink. And we have a petition that is actually well over 3,200 signatures, which I am very happy about that. So we have a Black Lives Matter petition. The link for that is in the description box. And I do believe that my mods will put a link to it also in the chat box, so that we can sign, share, and contribute to this petition as well. Trying to get so many thousands of signatures so that this thing can actually be picked up, maybe with media outlets and things of that nature, and just let them know that we saw that, like we saw you do that. And there is a group of us that are unhappy about it enough to say something, because a lot of times people will just steal from the Black community, and since we're so used to being taken advantage of, like, we'll know that it's wrong, but we won't say anything. So this is what this petition is really about, trying to change that whole stigma in our community, that when we get done wrong, we don't say anything because we're accustomed to people coming in and doing us dirty. So once again, please sign, share, and contribute to that petition if you can. Thank you, Chanelica says scar is simply the result of not keeping promises to yourself, which in the long term erodes his spiritual value. The beta and the alpha are honest with themselves and face their fears every day. Exactly. That's really the difference. Thank you, Chanelica. That's really the difference between the actual just beta male lion and a scar. The beta male lion is not in delusion about who he is. He knows who he is. He knows where his strengths are. He knows where his shortcomings are, and he deals with them accordingly. Scar is delusional. He thinks he's the cream of the crop, and he's not. He's really the scum of the earth, but you know. Thank you one more time, Norin. Thank you so, so, so much. So today's show was brought to you by A-Game. 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 All right. So how do you become part of the A-Game family? And why do you want to be part of the A-Game family? You want to be part of it, fellas, because A-Game is the absolute best natural overall health solution for males on the market. This is not your 5-hour energy drink. It's not a Red Bull. It's not any of that other stuff. This is the best on the market, period. You can ask the guys in the chat who have already gotten on their A game. It does address a man's overall health by addressing his vitality, his energy, his strength, and his libido. You saw how Juan was dancing around the office, right? Okay, so if you want to be able to dance around your office if you wanted to, all you got to do is hit the link at the top of the chat with agameherbal.com, and don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10, and you can get this box of happy delivered to you ASAP. All right. I want to thank everyone for their very generous contributions and the sponsoring of the show with Norin and Philip. Thank you so much. And everyone else that contributed. I want to thank you if you contributed through Super Chat, through Cash App or PayPal. And also, last but not least, I want to thank my support team, without which I cannot bring you this content. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.